Hello, hello. Welcome to A Dreamer's Experience Conquer the Chaos. My name is Sean Laurie, and as an entrepreneur and a father of four, I want to give you guys different insights or tools each week from either myself, my wife, or others that will not only help you as an individual, but also as a parent conquer the chaos.
And hey guys, I'm Tiffany Lowry and I co host alongside my husband. I do wear many hats, and the two that I am the most proud of is being a mother and a wife. We have had many chaotic moments as a family, but have somehow, some way, always managed to conquer the chaos. And that's why I'm excited to be here with you guys to share part of our journey.
Yes, yes. So, guys, I am excited for today's guest. Again, remember this whole month we've been doing, Mother May, and so I'm excited to close out or I should say, this session, this session of just honoring mothers with the amazing Nikki. She is a mother, an entrepreneur, a mentor, a coach, a singer. I can't sing, so I don't know why I did that, but a singer. She's just a lot of amazing things. And she's meant a lot to my family and to me personally. She's helped me in so many different ways. So, um, even though this is focused on the moms and the women, definitely, fellas, you can definitely just get a lot from this because trust me, she's helped me a lot, in so many ways. But how you doing, Nikki? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this. We here. We're here.
We're here. We're here. So, what I like to do to get a little icebreaker, it's nothing too crazy. It's just growing up, what was one of the most embarrassing things that happened to you?
Oh gosh. Dang. Really?
Just one. Just one. You know.
I feel like if I say the wrong one, I feel like everybody's gonna come for me like, no, Nick, you remember that one time? You know?
Hey,
This was your most embarrassing moment.
look, it's to you. It doesn't matter what they say, right?
Like
Okay.
we can top that one, Nikki. No,
Yeah.
wait a minute. We got receipts. Oh man, my most embarrassing moment. Two, two immediately popped up in my mind. But oh man, like the first one, I don't know where. I think we were traveling to Tennessee, my family, and back then, I don't even know how old I was. I must have been maybe about like 6 or 7 years old. And so it was me and my brother, my mom and my dad, and we, back in the day, we drove everywhere. We weren't,
Yeah.
jet setting. But so we're in the car and we're driving. We drive to Tennessee. We're visiting some family friends, and we went to somebody's house and we were eating these like really strange peanuts. And like I was eating them like crazy. And we had to leave that place and go somewhere else. And I don't even know like how long the drive felt like it was forever. I'm like, I don't know where we're going. And I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm like, my stomach hurts, my stomach hurts. And the worst thing that could possibly happen happened in the back seat of the car. And yeah, the juice was loose, y'all. It was loose. It was bad. It was really bad. So I mean, but I was I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid. So that was probably the most, and my brother could not let me live that down. He was like, "Oh my God, Nikki, remember that one time you pooped on us?" But anyway, you know
And
me.
that was from peanuts?
I don't know what I've never eaten them before. They were a very particular kind of peanut. Like they were like wet and soggy. Like it was a style of peanuts. I don't know. Everybody was like raving about it. Like, oh, these are so good. And here I am, like, yeah, they actually are pretty good, but it did not agree with me. It
It
did
was
not
your
agree with
stomach,
me.
huh?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then the second one was like in college, I was singing the national anthem for our basketball game. And it
Mm.
was like a big, major game, at home and everything. And, they're like, Nikki, sing the national anthem. And I'm singing, oh, say, can you see? And I immediately went blank
Oh my
for
God.
whatever reason. I just went blank. I'm like, I don't
Oh,
know the words. And when I realized, I'm like, I forgot the words in the microphone. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot the words.
oh,
It was bad. It was pretty bad. And my roommate did not let me live it down because I could hear her. She was like, it was dead silent, but I could hear her cackle like way up in the
Yeah.
balcony, like, oh my God, Nikki! It was bad. Anyway, yeah, yeah.
wow, wow. Well, you made it through, right?
I made it through.
Yeah.
I finished something. I gave
Yeah.
him little Whitney and Mariah after at
Yeah.
the end, but it was
You can
rough.
laugh about them now.
I can. I really can.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks, Sean, for asking that
Hey,
question.
hey,
Mhm.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Man, so like obviously for you, you grew up in Michigan, um,
Yeah,
but your family is it from there, if I remember correctly. So,
yeah.
like just hearing some of those stories and things like that, but it just had me thinking like, so how was your experience growing up? In a different culture than probably most people.
Yeah, it was, man, I don't even know how to describe because, when that's just kind of your life, that's your experience. So, like, it's kind of hard to describe it to other people. Like, this is how we grew up.
Yeah.
Um, but I grew up, in Michigan. My family, we came to, or I arrived in Michigan, in America, when I was about 2.5 years old,
Oh wow.
and from Malawi. So that's where we're from, Southeast Africa. And so came with my parents with the intention of, just really pursuing the American dream, getting educated. That was, the focus, and the drive for us, like go to school, go to school, go to school, get educated, s- set yourself up with, in life so that you can,
Yeah.
either return back home or, just really be a blessing to the family, extended family, in your community. So grew up. I'm a PK. We're come from a ministerial family. So that has its own dynamics, because they always say like the pastor's kids are the worst kids. And yes, it's true. No, I did my part. I
Yeah.
contributed to that. At times. So we had that dynamic, but also we're being raised still, you know, with within our culture, but also in America.
Mhm.
So that also had its dynamics, and just even remember, now in adult life, you can look back and you're like, man, I struggled like with, really getting grounded with my identity, because, people will look at me and they'll say, like, okay, you're African American, but I'm like, but I'm not. I don't really have that experience, just fully, and then to a lot of our community, our fellow Africans, inside the community, it was like you're so Americanized because I grew up here. I was a baby when I got here, so it was
Mhm.
like, where do you really fit?
Mhm.
Like, where do you really fit? And so I spent a good amount of time, uh, sitting in that and really discovering, what my place is, in this world and in my community, anywhere I went, like just really, who am I, and I really thank God for my parents because, um, they, now as a parent, you appreciate your parents a lot more, and as a parent at the same time, you can be gracious to how you can be more gracious towards your parents because you realize, dang, I'm doing the best I can do right now. So yeah, sure, they were probably doing the best they can do back then with us too, you know.
Mhm.
So just being really grateful for the way that they did raise us strong, rooted in God, just keeping reminding us of our identity, who we are, beyond just, our house, beyond our house, who we are, who the positions that we play within our greater family back home and here, you know, just all of that good stuff that I'm just really grateful for. And so it was a good time growing up.
Yeah, because
A
I,
really
I was yeah, because I was wondering just how difficult that can be balancing. Because I do have some friends that's like literally from Africa,
Mhm.
and it seems at times it's difficult because they're almost like they have responsibilities here, but they also have responsibilities out there, even though they live out here.
Mm.
So I just always wonder like how difficult can that be? So how did you get to that place where growing up you was able, like you said, you was kind of looking back, like kind of trying to figure out who you are. How did you, was it just strictly from your parents just constantly giving you those affirmations and things like that? Or what was it that really triggered it where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't have to be
Yeah.
this Nikki or this Nikki over here. Like this is who I am. Love it or don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
me.
It's wow, I didn't know that we were gonna like go all the way here and talk about this stuff. But definitely from my parents, that was always echoed, to us, Nikki, like Nikiwe, who you are, what your name means, what our last name means and what it stands for. And, not like just getting some of the nuggets from both sides of the family, from my mom's side, from my dad's side. And, it was a little bit later on in life. So imagine this, like our family arrived in that area in Michigan, and we're one of the first and like very few, less than probably five families, African families, Malawian families, in that area. So they my parents are pioneers in our community.
Wow.
Um, they've lived there for, I'm like, what, I'm 40, I'm turning 41, my brother's 45, 6, so we've lived in that community for years, for
Mhm.
years, for years, for years. And so um, it was really important for us to understand really who we are too, even in our local community
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
well. Not just like, who we are in our immediate blood family, but
Yeah.
also in the community as well. Um, and it wasn't until I was about 13 that um, I was able that our immediate, like our blood family started, some of our relatives started coming over,
Mhm.
you know. So we grew up just, we grew up calling friends and people from other different countries, like, this is my auntie, this is my uncle, these are my cousin, like, fake, not fake family, but play family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's how we grew up, in our
Yeah.
communities, so it was something so very special, like when our, real blood relatives came over, because I don't know them. I came when I
Yeah.
was, you know, um, and so through that, and majority of them were that came over and were able to transition over from my mom's side of the family. So they were able to come and, just really um, reiterate some of those family values and identity as well. Royalty, just like, we are royal family. So some of those, little um, cultural things, were, shared with us. Do I understand it all? No. Was there a language barrier? Heck yeah, still
Yeah.
is, still is. But I think just really the big major thing was just like just understanding your identity. Like that was really, really big. And it wasn't until like I would interact with some of my other friends from different backgrounds, and they would be looking at me and wishing that they could have that. Like,
Mhm.
like you wish that, like, I don't know my family lineage like that. Like, we can't trace it back like that. We don't know, you
Mhm.
know, or I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have access to this. And, just understanding like, okay, this is something unique, perhaps, and something to be definitely taken care of and nurtured and be
Mm,
proud of,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So I was thinking about it because obviously you're married with two beautiful daughters, right? Your business is thriving. Um, and so from the outside looking in, it's almost like, you know, you quote unquote like Nikki had the fairy tale. Like you even shared right where people were kind of like, dang, like you have it pretty good, you know. So like
Mm.
basically from just from your story, just your story, was it that simple? Was it, you know, like I said, you have your beautiful family, which I love. You're doing your business. So people outside looking in like, oh man, Nikki has it all together. Look how easy she did it. Like, was it that simple? Was it just one of those things you just woke up and said, yeah, I'm about to start this business. Hey, this is, you know, I found a man in my dreams, right? I'm a, right? I'm a,
We love
I'm,
you, Kevin.
yeah, we love you, Kevin. You know that's my dog. You know, man of my dream. Yeah, I'm gonna have kids at this age. You know, was it that simple where it was just mapped out? Because you know, a lot of times I see,
Mm.
again, ladies, don't get mad at me. That's just what I see. A lot of times, right? As like guys do it too, but I feel like especially women, um, especially I notice when they start getting in their 30s, a lot of times, like they start like stressing because they have it like this is how it's supposed to be set up,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna have this type of person. I'm gonna be doing this over here, and
Yeah.
these kids are gonna act this way, and I'm gonna have these many kids in my car. So that's the reason why I asked that, right? Because
Yeah.
again, from the outside looking in, you know, you're still young, and they're just like, oh my gosh, Nikki, you know, she's doing it so big. Like she's traveling here, she's speaking here, she's having different events. Wow, like it was it that simple? What's the story basically?
Short answer, heck no. It was no. Hell no. No. No, because it was it has it been easy? No. Has it been worth it? Yeah. So I think like there's so many there have been so many experiences, some of them, have been very, easy, just, smooth sailing, absolutely. Some of them have been the um, most challenging lessons to learn
Yeah.
and to grow from. Um, but all of those things have literally paved the way to be right here, you know, where we are, and to be honest, like I don't think even like, going thinking back to like when me and Kevin got married, like even Kevin get even real talk, me and Kevin getting married, like I was like, I'm safe with him because he's not a pastor. Because for some reason, everybody kept praying over me to marry a pastor, and I'm like, I listen, I know this life, and I'm not for it. Like
Yeah.
I'm done. Okay, like I know ministry life. I know nothing else but that. And so when met Kevin, and he's like, I'm an accountant and I'm a financial advisor. I'm like, oh, good, good, good. We like you're not out here talking about like let's plant a church, let's pastor a church. You got to be on it. No, no, you have to be perfect and behave. And no, no. I was like, bet God, he might be the one. He might be the one. But God bamboozled me, and I'm like, what? you know, I was like, this has got to be the biggest joke on me. When Kevin's like, you know what, I feel, that God is calling me, into this, and I guess I kind of had a lot to do with that as well. He always says that I had a lot to do with that just by um, kind of like bringing him into my world,
Mhm,
when we did connect, and, we played together when we were kids. Our families,
mhm.
were connected, some way.
Yeah.
And so we were little kids playing around, with each other and had no idea that, years later that we would get married. Um, and so when we were getting married, I don't think honestly we thought about our future as
Mm.
much as I know a lot of people do today, you know. Um, and I'm not even really sure what the reason was. I think we just really were very, very open to whatever God wanted to do with us,
Yeah.
however He wanted to do it through us, you know, with us, whatever, you know. And that's just pretty much kind of been the rhythm of how we move, you know, through life. Is like, okay, well, what does God want us to do next? What does He want us to do next? Um, so everything that has happened has we really believe that it has been really because of God leading step by step, you know, along the way. But it has not been easy. I never would. Everybody's like, Nikki, did you always had a bit? No, I never thought I would have a business. I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. I never saw myself as a business owner. Um,
Mm,
Even though now I can kind of see some of the seeds that were planted by my dad, you know, when I was like 15, you know, 14, 13, you know, because he would drag me along with him to all these business meetings and conferences. And he would say, go sell to this person, go sell to this person. There's a customer right here, go sell to them. You
mhm.
know, he would take me to county fairs and would have a tent, you know, a booth there. And I would be, you know, talking to, you know, customers and selling them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just here because I got a free ticket. I'm just trying to get off my shift so I can go ride this pirate ship, you know, you know. So just even realizing now, like, okay, there were seeds planted back then that I wasn't even aware of,
Wow.
Yeah.
that are now, you know, coming up.
Yeah.
Now that I finally said, yeah, let me just pursue this thing. As
Mm.
scared as I am, let me just pursue it, you know. So
That speaks to, right, how just important it is for us as parents to constantly be pouring
Yeah.
and dropping those seeds, right, planting seeds
yeah,
into our kids and encouraging them and things like that. And little, like, I'm sure, right, when when your dad was asking you that, you probably was annoyed, like, why are you having me do this? Not realizing that, right, like there was a method to the madness,
yeah,
right? Which is awesome. So also, because I've heard you sing. You have an amazing voice. I've witnessed it. Back in the day, I used to be the same. But we're not gonna talk about who's better now, or that doesn't matter, right? I'm not gonna. I was gonna
Yeah.
bust it out, but I'll.
sing it.
It's not about me. So, but how, like, you know, did you ever think you'd be doing what you're doing now, which is like empowering women and things of that nature, instead of singing? Because, again, you have an amazing voice. Like, did you have plans to really do something with that voice, or, life just happened and you were just like, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore? How did that happen?
Man, you talk about life happening. Life happens when it happens for real. Nah. But yeah, you know, obviously, you know, music was the thing, right? So, you know, it's funny that you're bringing this up because like there was these little seeds of entrepreneurship that were kind of planted but not intentionally, right? Because what was more present and what everyone could see more was the music, the call on, for music and singing and ministering through music was very loud and heavy, you know. So that was a thing that was really really nurtured. I mean, you know, my parents really, really supported me on that and did whatever they could to just really m- encourage me to go down that path and pursue it as much as I wanted to. Um, you know, same thing even with my brother because you know he's a musical genius of his own on his own self. You know, um, and just having that support, you know, to just continuously push me down that road. You know, so um, the dream was always to, record an album, release it, just, be flown all over the place and just, go sing, do concerts, and, I'm grateful that I was able to do that and to accomplish that. Um, I spent many years just doing that. We met when I was, kind of winding down on that portion of my life, living out that dream, you know. And so that was the thing that was nurtured and but this other thing that the seeds were planted a long time ago, and they were beginning to sprout. It was like, now how do I really do this, because
Mm.
I don't have that much nurture the nourishment that I got with the music. I don't necessarily have it with the business stuff. So just got to figure it out, just really got to figure it out. And it's when life happens, it happens. Um, Even just moving to California, I literally left an album in the studio.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, um, was in the studio just working. But when God was like, "Listen, you got to make this transition," it was like, okay, this is done for now. For now, is it something that I will come back to? I probably will come back to it because it is in my belly. It's always going to be very present. Um, but this life, we get to, every time that we wake up, we have the opportunity to pursue anything and everything,
Mm.
anything and everything. And so for that part, the music, I was satisfied, for the things that God had allowed me to accomplish. But the itch was still there to see, like, what am I going to do with these seeds that are coming up, Um, like, you asked me, like, did I always want to work with women? No, because I have trauma in dealing with women.
Mm,
You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to go, you get to return back to the place that you are most hurt,
Mm.
to make a difference. Um,
that's good.
and so, not that it was like an intentional decision, like, let me go work with women. No, I was that chick that was like, I'll be by myself before I go to a women's conference because I don't trust them, you know. Um, but but for whatever reason, as God healed me from those hurts and that trauma, women, I just found myself always kind of with women, and them being drawn to me, and spending time with women, and supporting them through some of the same hurts and trauma as well. you
Mm.
um so that's kind of how it just eventually landed towards all of this. And it's been a ride. It really has been a ride. There's no way that I would have seen all this coming back then. But we're here now, and I love it. I get to work with the most baddest, dopest women, and men, and the fellas too. This is really, for right now, this season, this is the joy of my life. This is the
Yeah.
joy
Mm.
of my life. And I'm a social worker by profession, so I I want to work with people. I love working with people. Um,
Mm,
that has always been a calling, so it was just like, I get to do it the way that God fully leads me to, on
yeah.
my own terms, the way I want to, you
Yeah,
know, yeah, without restriction. So it's been real cool. It's been real cool.
I love
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to because obviously people don't really know. Well, we're gonna get into that in a minute, a little bit, where you can explain what you do. But for your business, it sounded like you didn't always want to own your own business, or you didn't think about it like that, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So how did you get to that place where Yeah, well, give us a little bit of the story, how you got there, how you said, "Hey, this is what I'm gonna do." Like, was it? Did you just wake up one morning and said, "You know what? I can't stand women, but I'm about to do something amazing." You know, or or was it something where you were just doing some self reflection? Was it something where you just had a conversation with someone? What was that moment that
Mm.
started? Hella scared
Sparked it.
that sparked it.
It sparked it. You know, so I think I mentioned like I was satisfied, with this dream of mine, my musical dream. I was satisfied. I'm good with it. Um, but there was an itch, like, for some of the other things that have always kind of been in the back of my mind. And again, like, full transparency, right before we, moved to California, um, I had already filed for a business, to, begin, running a mentorship, a women's mentorship business
Mm.
out in New England. And those were some of the things that were like just kind of put on hold. And there was a very specific path for that. I was more focused on like um, second generation immigrant, like women,
Mm.
women like myself, who, were in the in between identities and trying to figure out like, where's your place, here. Um, and so that was kind of like the focus back then, you know. And obviously if that was something that was happening because there was a need and there was a lot of conversation. I was already kind of servicing a lot of mentoring a lot of women back there throughout
Mm.
um, our time in New England. And so I'll even say this: our transition for me personally was not an easy one. I
Mm.
came to California kicking and screaming. Even though I knew that God wanted us, He made it very clear that we need to be here. But I came kicking and screaming because it did not make sense that all these dreams are moving and things are picking up. I was pretty much about to retire from my job, because things were so promising, and on the entrepreneurial side and the ministry side. Um, and so I was very reluctant to make the transition because that doesn't make sense. How is it that you're going to stop everything right now when everything is thriving? And, it doesn't make sense. So like, even like with you guys, I get it. Like that transition, like it doesn't make sense. Things are picking up, but we got to go. We got to
Yeah.
move. It's time
Yeah.
to move. But I know it now, and of course, hindsight is like 2020 vision. You can see things clear now. Whereas, like, no, all of that, God had to use all of that. He had to break something inside of me. He had to heal some things inside of me. He had to do a
Mhm.
lot of things inside of me to get me ready for where He's taking me.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
I like that.
um, so for me, it was just a place of frustration.
Mm.
It was a real place of frustration. I feel like, I'm like, and this is me talking to God. I'm like, why am I always the person supporting everybody else's dream?
Mm.
Mhm.
Like I felt like a midwife. Like I'm always, so, I help, I'm in the conception room of their dream, and
Yeah.
walk them through the pregnancy and then the baby, their dream, it happens for them, and I'm the one that's like, yes, go get it. But what about my stuff? What about my dreams?
Mm.
When is it going to be my time? And
Mhm.
um this came from one conversation, and I remember it like at our old house on in the living room on the floor, like laid out crying because I'm like I'm so frustrated,
Mm.
you know. And it was a real conversation where I was like, well, the truth is, Nikki, nothing is keeping you from doing anything that you want to do. Nothing. Because you have breath in your body. like I'm giving you every day that you wake up, you have an opportunity to do it, to go for it.
Yeah, I
You know?
like that.
And the truth is, I had to get real and like, okay, well, what is keeping me from going all in? And it was always fear. You
Mm,
know, it was always fear. I'm like, well, you know, growing up, a PK, you're kind of conditioned to be mindful of how people look at you because all eyes are always on you. So God forbid, Nikki, you go down the path and you mess up, you F this whole thing up, everybody's watching,
Mm.
and that was a fear, you know. Um, and I was like, God, the truth is I'm scared. I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to really do the things that I think you've called me to that don't look like what everybody else is encouraging me to do or what they know of me to do. You
mm,
know, you know what I mean? Like, people can cheer you on as long as they know, as long as you as when they know you a certain way. But once you like, no, listen, there's more to me than this, then that becomes kind of scary for them because they're like, well, we don't know that. We don't know that. So are you
Yeah.
sure about that? Are you really sure about that? Um, and so I was like, I'm scared to do this. And he was like, well, you need to do this hella scared. Those were verbatim the words, like just do it hella scared. Because what do you have to lose? I'm with you. I gave this to you. I'm gonna walk in front of you. I'm gonna walk beside you, and I got your back. There is no failure when you really step into this. I got you.
mm.
And that's where this all came from. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do I'm gonna focus on overcoming some of my own personal fears.
Mm.
Yeah.
And from that, that's when like I would start posting hashtag do it hella scared. And then some of the ladies would be like, what are you talking about? Well, can I use that hashtag too? Because like I'm trying to do some things that I'm been scared to do, and it kind of started like that. It just started, kind of growing in that way. And I was like, well, well, this is what I'm doing. Come along with me. Let's figure it out together. But what I know is that we're going to be more powerful, more impactful to the world around us when we pursue the things that God has called us to, and we're in purpose. So it came from all of that.
I
So I
love
never
it.
saw it to be a coaching business. I never saw it to
Yeah.
be any of that stuff. I never saw it to be the book that's coming. I never saw it to be that. I was just like, let me just focus on overcoming my fears. And listen, if we can do this together, let's do it together.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it because you hit something too, as far as you know, our loved ones, right? Their heart's in the right place, but when because they have their own comfort, right? They
Hmm.
have their own comfort on things. So when you say something that they're not comfortable with, right? At times that's when you get that pushback because
Yeah.
hey, Nikki, like no, we know for a fact this singing will work for you,
Hmm.
or social work, whatever it is. Like we know it's going to work for you because there's a system in place already.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do, you're trying to create a system, and we're not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
the,
it's it's unfamiliar.
yes, yes, and their heart's in the right place, of course, but at times it can get frustrating, right? Because you're like,
Yeah.
I know you're saying this because you care, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
Absolutely.
I think you might be projecting some of your fears onto me,
Yeah.
Man.
right? And then we take that on, and we don't realize that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of times when things don't make sense to somebody else, to other people, that's when, like you said, like they start projecting their fear onto you because it doesn't make sense to them. It's out of the normal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what I've learned is like that's okay because you need some people, you need that kind of inspiration.
Hmm.
You know, it's not my place to try to understand it, um, and even realizing like I'd rather I'd rather cons- I'd rather save my energy in trying to you know move them to a different place because just be gracious to wherever they are at. They are at where they at, and that's cool. I need that inspiration. It's not like let me just cut them off or whatever. Like I need that inspiration. I need them to ask and question why, because that also can help me stay grounded. Like, why am I doing this? Yeah,
Yeah.
because on this, but you can easily forget, why am I doing this?
Hmm.
You know, so it's all good. Like we
Yeah.
use it all. We use it all, literally.
Oh, true. I like that too. Like you said, like, hey, even, they're questioning certain things. Hey, that's just a good reminder for you,
Yeah.
why you're doing this to keep pushing forward. So I like that a lot. So as we get ready soon to close out, I know I've been holding you hostage for a little bit. What's um some advice for the mothers out there? Because just hearing your story, right? You've worn so many different hats, right, in such a short amount of time, which is a beautiful thing, I feel like. And you have these different hats, and now you have the hat that fits correctly for you, right? What would that advice you would just anything you can give for a mother out there that's trying to overcome that fear? Because she's like, there's no way I can do it. I have kids. There's no way I can do it.
Yeah.
My husband's always working, or my baby dad, whatever their situation is, right? They want to do these things, but they're almost paralyzed because of the
Mhm.
what ifs.
Mhm.
Because especially, oh yeah, Nick, again, I'm not saying this is true, but they might look at it like, oh, Nikki had it all mapped out, man, she didn't even, which I know it's not true, but she she didn't even have her kids yet when she had all this going, so
Yeah.
so just like for that mother that's operating in fear, where she's saying all the reasons why she can't do it, and pretty much at the end of the day she's just a mother. She can't whatever pursue whatever it is she wants to do, which isn't true, but that's just the lies that we tell ourselves. What is just advice that you can give from your experience, from the many clients you have helped, and what the things you have witnessed, like what's something you can share to inspire them?
Um,
They're all sad, like, why she pausing so long?
because Nikki make I'm notorious for my pauses. I am.
They listen like, dang, she don't got nothing for us.
I'm notorious for my long pauses.
Yeah.
But I think first what I want to say first is because you were saying like, oh, like I had this mapped out like before, and I was doing all this before I had kids. I don't know. you know, um, my two girls, Selah is turning 13.
Wow, it's
She's
crazy.
turning 13 in September. Um, Michaela will be 8. So Selah is my child that grew me up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? She's the child that grew me up. She's the child that taught me everything about, because when they say you have kids, it is a mirror, a real life mirror, to they're going to reflect exactly who you are, you know. Um, so she inspired so much grounding and maturing, in both of us, Um, and what I want to say is like there's so many times us as parents, as women, um, let me even say this: I never thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom.
Mm.
I never thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. I was like like a career driven, and I didn't even I never even imagined like, oh, I'm going to be the mom that works full time, and I drop off my kids at daycare and pick them up, and like when I say we didn't put much thought into what was going to happen after the wedding. We didn't put that much thought into it. We really didn't, because I never imagined that. I never imagined being a stay-at-home mom or anything like that because I wasn't raised by a stay-at-home mom, you
Mhm.
know. So that wasn't the life that I was exposed to, but I think we typically kind of fall into a temptation to look at our kids as reasons to not pursue our dreams,
Mm.
you know, when the truth is, they are our inspiration. They are the very reason why we should, by all means necessary, like pursue it, go for it. You
Mm.
know, um, I don't, like it's cool to be looking on the outside and look on the TV and look in the magazines and look at all these women and aspire to be like them. But they are my responsibility. They are God's gift to me, you know. Am I kind of, cutting some things short if I don't pursue the dreams that God has given me while they're this close in proximity. You know what I mean? Like our kids are watching us.
Mm. Mhm.
So, so the truth is, we always tell our kids, go after all your dreams, go after all your dreams. But here we are not doing the same. We're not doing that. And we're not even providing the most realist, up close, personal example of that,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know? Um, and I remember having this conversation with Selah about 3 years ago. And um, I had this conversation with Selah, and it was a crazy thing. Like, I'm even remembering like the timing of this. But I was like, Selah, do you like mommy? Do you like mommy, working her business? Do you like me? Like, how does this impact you? Because I know like sometimes I have to, take calls, and that means that you have to help Michaela, with dinner, you have to help her out, does that bother you? Do you like that? And she was like, and she took a minute and she thought about it. And she was like, you know what, mommy? I like you working your business.
Mm.
Mm.
And I was like, that was not the answer I was waiting on. I thought she was like, yeah, because sometimes you're on the call too long, mommy. And
Yeah.
Michaela don't listen to me. And but she was like, I like you doing that because like you seem really happy,
Mm.
and you know and of course she had to kind of throw in there, and you buy me a lot of stuff. I'm like, you almost got me. I'm like, the one year is rolling down.
Typical kid answer, huh?
Yeah. I was like, okay, but that was good because I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
like, she's like she is kind of she's a mature mind, but then
Yeah.
it was well balanced. So I was like, that is what that's the greatest gift that we can give our kids,
Yeah.
really, is just being able to show up and be in full on purpose,
Yeah.
because they're watching for that, and they're going to do exactly what we do.
Yeah.
They're going to do exactly what we do. They're literally, establishing their own beliefs based off of what they have seen in us.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
so really, like, it's been cool to kind of go through this journey with my kids, and they're part of my team meetings. When I say, listen, we're having a team meeting, every Sunday, when we talk about what's on the forecast for the week. I have this many clients, da, 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 and this is what I'm going to be doing. Like, they're part of it, um, because um, it's important for them to see mommy and daddy push through. It's important for them to see um, the good and the bad. It's important for them to see the wins and the challenges.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
I like that.
yeah,
I like that. Man, you dropping some heat.
yeah. So go after it. To every mother that's thinking about, like, man, what can can I really do it? Can I really pursue the dreams? Like, like, in all bluntness, don't use the kids as excuses. They are your source of inspiration.
Mm.
They're the very reason why you should go after
Mm.
it all. You
Yeah.
know, um, it's that important. It's that important for our kids to see that. and to have those, just everything that we learn on that path of pursuing our own purpose, all
Mhm.
those lessons. Like Michaela is experiencing a better mommy now than she was before I started any of this,
Mm.
because I was living in fear, literally,
Yeah.
you know. So now it's like, okay, after you grow and you mature on your own journey, now you really can speak from experience. Like kids, it's time to push through and overcome these fears, these challenges, and
Yeah.
schoolwork, whatever it is. And it's been really cool. It's been a blessing to see Selah get out her own box, and like she's like, "Mommy, I'm scared to run for ASB, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway." And I'm like, "Well, Mom, do it hella scared." Okay,
Yeah.
that's Michaela. She's like, "Well, do it hella scared."
Yeah.
I love it though. I love it. I definitely agree, with everything you said. There's definitely challenging moments for me and Tiffany as well. But I think the fact that our kids get to see what we're doing, and they love the fact that we're both at home. I know,
Yes.
you know, even though we're working, I think they just like the fact that, okay, like for you, I'm sure your girls are just like, mom's present. Regardless, she's working, I know she's here.
Yeah.
If it really comes down to it, I can go, mom is on a call, on a meeting. I can go, hey, mom, I don't know. Some dog bit somebody,
Yeah.
whatever the case is. I don't know. I couldn't think of a scenario. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the neighbor broke their leg or something, right? Right in front of our
Yep.
door. You like, oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
You can take care of that or handle that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's amazing as well. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. And even like, obviously, like, we have, relationship outside of this, podcast.
Mhm.
But even like watching you guys, and I'm always going back in my mind, like, to when we first met, and just watching where you guys, how far you've come, and like where you guys are at now.
Mhm.
And even like just dreaming, for the future, like you guys have done an amazing, amazing, amazing job at being parents, as being, working together as a team, supporting each other, like big, like that is huge. Um, and I love that you guys do that for each other, and you're able to support each other, because that makes a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes a world of a difference, when we have the support of our spouse, and the kids, and we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a journey that much more sweeter, to just be ready and available to service our kids, to support our significant others. Like it's a blessing. It is a blessing. It is really. So
It
I'll
is.
go and keep on going.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, let the people know, for people that want to know more about what you do, and all the great things that's coming up. I know you said a book as well, things like that. Where can they find you at? Like, what's the best place they could probably contact you, get to you? Is it email, Facebook? Which one? Instagram, TikTok? I don't know.
I'm not allowed to be on TikTok. Sailor won't let me.
Okay. Okay. Well.
But I tried to do a couple of videos, and she was watching me from the corner. She was like, "Mom, I don't want you to go on TikTok."
She's like, no, that's not allowed.
Like, stay in your lane. So I'm currently not on TikTok right now.
Okay, okay, okay. So where can the wonderful people find you at then? Where's a good?
Um, yeah, like my office space is Facebook. So if you can reach out to me on Facebook. That is majority of not majority of where I am, but probably the easiest way to connect with me.
Yeah,
Um, and I tell everybody, get real nosy, like scroll through,
yeah,
my profile, and get to know me, because you got to like me a little bit to
Yeah.
mess around with me.
yeah.
Um, you know. So yeah, definitely Facebook. You can go to my website, doithellascared.com.
Mhm.
That's another way to reach out to me.
Hmm.
But listen, I'm very personable. So even if you shoot me a message, a private message, through Facebook or Instagram, I didn't even give you my Instagram, but my Instagram is what? Coach Niki _, do it hella scared. Um, that is like the easiest way to get to connect with me. And I prefer that. I really do prefer that because I want to get to know who you are, how I can support you, and I definitely would love for you to get to know me and what I'm able to do. But I also have a Facebook group, Do It Hella Scared Dreamer Society. That is strictly for the ladies. And so this is a cool time to actually jump into that too, because, we have declared this is the hot girl boss summer. So a lot of cool things are happening inside our private community there. Where I'm bringing back Wednesday Wine Down, kind of like our midweek push. And, so I have a lot going on. There's, the Facebook group. If you're ready to work with me one-on-one or, jump inside my more private, exclusive area where I can support you. There's Do It Hella Scared Academy. And that is, you can join in by membership or, come in through one-on-one coaching through my Activate program, but just really focused on just really supporting you with in helping you identify, number one, what your purpose or your God dream is. And just really supporting you, giving you the tools to shift those fears into fuel to actually pursue those things and get started, and really start building out what I always use the word dreamality, your dreams lived out in everyday reality, you
Yeah.
know. And so it's like, is everything perfect like right now? But no, for me personally, no, everything is not perfect, But am I living a dream right now? One of my personal dreams. Hell yeah, I'm living that. Like I'm home, I'm available with my kids, and I can work my business. I can support, men and women out there who need my support and who need my giftings. And I can support my family through this,
Yeah.
Um, if I need to get up and, go across country, I can do that,
Yeah.
and not be, ask for time off or,
Yeah.
vacation time. So I'm literally living my dream right now. And um, that has only come through the decision of doing it hella scared,
Yeah. That's
you
good.
know, and going all in and living life on purpose. So that is who I am. That is who I be. Is who I be in the world. And yeah, that's definitely.
Yes. I mean, so as you guys, if you're watching, listening, you see this amazing woman is super busy. But again, just in a good way though. But again,
My
if
life is
anyone
full, but full of,
yes,
we
yes,
get
absolutely. But
shots.
yes, yes, but definitely, I encourage you, to contact her. She's doing some amazing things. She even said like a book or something. I don't want to spoil that. I know she's probably, got some things going on. But
Woo. No, let's do it. Let's face our fears. Come on, Nikki. The Do It Hella Scared book is coming. It's coming.
okay,
It's
all
coming.
right, all right,
It is coming.
all right.
A
Should
little.
I pressure you with a date or
No, Sean, you can't
okay?
coach me right
All
now.
right, all right.
That's how our sessions go. Like I'm pressuring you, then you go pressure me back.
I'm just was asking. You was throwing it out there, so. But
Yeah,
no, that's good. It's soon, coming soon,
very, 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 very
very
soon. But
soon.
it's something I've been sitting on for a long time. Actually, this was the first passion project of Do It Hella Scared was to start writing,
Okay.
start telling the stories, and the lessons that I've learned along the way. So getting back into my writing mode
Mhm.
and just, completing out a couple more chapters. And it will be a good read, y'all,
Yeah.
because like you're gonna laugh a lot. You're gonna get the real deal, the real, straight truth. I'm a straight shooter. Pew pew. You
Yeah.
know. So I was like, you really did that. That's why I'm on TikTok. right there because of those things.
for that reason.
Yeah, and of course, it's definitely I'm a God chick, so it's a lot of a lot of truth and
Yeah.
rooted from the Word of God in there as well. So I really am proud of it so far. I'm really proud of it so far, and I'm excited to share it. So it's coming soon, and this is scary for me even to talk about it, but whatever, we do it hella scared.
I love it. I
I
love
can't
it.
wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good. So yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe. YouTube, podcast, it's on all platforms as well. Thank you again, Nikki. And like I like to
Mhm.
always say, guys, so before we go, I just want to remind you, parents, just keep being an inspiration and to never downplay the impact that you have on your loved ones so you can conquer the chaos. See you guys.